Hey guys, welcome to a video I'm probably not going to do too often, which is a in-depth collection video. This is different from my normal one, as for my normal ones, I will, just kind of quickly go through all my devices, like all my phones, but this one I'm individually going to take you through them. So this is going to be a very long video, and I'm only going to do these yearly, probably at the end of each year. So this is for the end of 2025. This is all my devices. I believe I have like 85 or something like that. I'm not sure. 88, somewhere around there. So first I'm going to kind of start with the tablets. I only have 3 tablets in my collection, and 2 of them only work in the first place. This first one here is my iPad 8th generation. If it will turn on. There it is. This is a voiceover, by the way, so this is like being taken later. There's me putting in my passcode, or there's the passcode I have to put it in. It runs iOS 26, and it is kind of slow now on iOS 26, but it does work. This is a 128 gigabyte iPad, and yeah, it runs iOS 26.0.1. It's an iPad 8th generation. Next is my Samsung Galaxy Tab A 2016, I believe. This one has a funny story. I got this at a thrift store for like 20 bucks back in like May or something. But there it is turning on. I have a pin on that one too, just because I actually kind of like used it for a brief amount of time, which was very interesting because it's so outdated. Yeah, it runs Android 5.1.1 and it has 8 gigabytes of storage, which isn't the worst in the world, but that's not great, even for 2016 standards. And this last tablet here is like an RCA tablet. I don't even know what the exact model. It's just some RCA. It doesn't work. That shattered. That wasn't there before. That was me and my friends messing around when we did that. So next we're gonna move on to my Alcatel devices. How many of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 6, 7. This is my Alcatel Pixie Eclipse. I got this thing at a thrift store, actually, if I remember right. It runs Android 4.4.4 and only has 2 gigabytes of space, which is very depressing, honestly, for a phone. Even for a tiny phone like this. Come on, that's depressing. This one here is my Alcatel One Touch Elevate. This phone is extremely annoying, mainly because it takes so long to turn on. I literally had to pause the recording and come back. Like, you can literally see me set it there. It took 3 minutes to turn on. I'm not even kidding. It is so slow. But when it turns on, there you go. This is actually my childhood phone. I used this a lot when I was a kid. This only has 8 gigabytes of space, which isn't terrible, but it's not really that good either, especially for 2015. And I don't know what version of Android it runs, but I believe it's Android 4. This right here is one of 3, yes, 3 Alcatel Jitterbug Smart 2s. I was given all 3 of them by a person. Only 2 of them actually work. I don't remember if this one works or not. You're going to see in a minute. But one of them is Google locked, and the other one, like, it goes into the home screen, but then it gets like stuck in like the finishing setup or whatever. And then one of them completely works. I don't know which one this is, but we're about to find out. And what do you know, this is the Google locked one, because I was never able to finish the setup on this one. So yeah, it gets stuck on the sign in screen or whatever, because it needs you to sign in with Google, and I don't have the email, so we're stuck. Okay, I believe this is the one that is stuck on the finishing setup screen or whatever. And actually, I was surprisingly able to get into the software, like into the phone a little bit. That's what seems to happen, is like you can get into the phone for like a minute before that screen pops up, and then you're stuck, and then you can't do anything about it. So as you can see here, I was able to get in the phone, and like it's set up as like if it was new or whatever. I was even able to pull up like information about it because it has 16 gigabytes of storage. And I was even able to go down into the About phone, figure out that it runs Android 7.0. But then right there is when it came up with the finishing setup screen, and you can't do anything after that. You're stuck. It just gets stuck in this, like a loop. And then this one right here is the last of the 3. This is the fully working one. It's still signed into an email account, but I didn't like reset it or anything. I just kept it the way it was. This phone does take a while to turn on as well, but eventually it will get into the screen. There it is right there. Same information as before, 16 gigabytes of storage, and it runs Android 7.0. Nothing's changed there. Next is the Alcatel TCL A1, and oh my god, don't get this phone. This thing is terrible. I know someone that was going to get it, and I was like literally trying to tell them like the 50 reasons why not to get this phone. I mean, look at the screen, for example, just right now. It is shit. Oh, and then yeah, someone made this custom background for me. But yeah, that custom background is really cool. Someone made that for me. But going into the settings, this has 16 gigabytes of storage. 7%. No. Android 8.1.0. Yeah, 6.7. So next is the last of my Alcatel phones. It is an Alcatel Volta, on AT&T. I forgot to say what the carriers were on the previous ones, but you kind of saw it because it was on the boot screen. This one it took a while. I mean, look how long this is taking to turn on, or even to like just get to the home screen. It's very slow. But this thing has, oh, there's the Android version. It's Android 10, surprisingly. I didn't believe that, but it is. And it only has 16 gigabytes of storage, which is terrible. Next up here is one of the coolest phones I think I have in my collection, the Amazon Fire phone. This is the only phone Amazon ever made, and I think this is just a really cool phone in general. With the 5 cameras and the dynamic perspective, it's pretty cool. This runs Fire OS 4.6.6.1. Don't know what that is, and this has 32 gigabytes of storage actually, which isn't too bad. And there's the dynamic perspective. I think that's really freaking cool, by the way. It's so pointless, but it's really cool. And now we move on to my Apple devices. I have, what is that, 7? I think 7, yeah. This is my first generation iPhone. I was very surprised I was able to actually get this. There's a picture of my friend's face. I blurred that out. But yeah, this is the home screen of the first iPhone. It's kind of crazy I have one of these. I don't know what version of iOS it's on and stuff, but we're gonna see. It is on 3.1.3, and it has 8 gigabytes of storage. Nice. I don't know what else to say. This is my iPod Touch 4th generation. It does not work. This one doesn't anyways. I do have another one that does work though, and you're about to see that one in a second, and here it is. Sorry, the mic got messed up there for a second, so it might have sounded weird, but this is my iPod Touch 4th generation. This iPod is actually really cool because it has a lot of music left over on it. A lot of music, as you can see, like, look at all these artists I'm scrolling through here. There's a whole lot, which is really nice to see. Including my favorite artist, Enrique Iglesias, is somehow actually on here. Including literally my one favorite song, which is Tonight I'm Loving You. I swear it's a good song, but it's really funny that it's actually on here. I don't know, I thought that was really funny. But this is an 8 gig iPod on 5.1.1. Next is an iPhone 6. There's not a whole lot I can really say about this iPhone, except there's like a weird splotch at the bottom right of the screen, which is kind of annoying. But it runs iOS 12.5.7, and it's a 16 gig model. There's not much else I can really say. This is a first generation iPhone SE. This is actually one of the first phones I really used. It is a very nice phone though, I have to say. Like, I still don't mind it. 15.7.6 is what iOS it runs, and it is a 32 gigabyte model, which is pretty good, I'd say. This is an iPhone 10. This phone's actually really annoying. I wish it wasn't, but it is. The main problem I have is the middle of the screen is completely messed up, which really sucks. Like, you'll see it. It's gonna take me a little while to demonstrate it, but like, I have some stuff installed in there, but you can see, like, I'm scrolling up. I can't do it. I try to click on apps in the middle. It gets all messed up. I show it better here. Yeah, I go to the keyboard. I can't type the letter G. I'm trying to do it, but I literally can't do it. So yeah, the middle of the whole screen is messed up, which is really annoying too, because the seller didn't even say that was messed up. I tried to order a refund, but that didn't really work, so now I'm just kind of stuck with it, and I'm not going to repair it right now. This runs iOS 16.7.11, and this is actually a 256 gig model. I got it specifically for recording, but it's all kind of messed up, so now I'm really mad about that. This is an iPhone SE 2nd generation. This was actually my backup phone for a little while when I when I had my iPhone 14 sent in for repairs, because you saw what I did to it. So I didn't reset it either, so I still have a bunch of my stuff on it, as you can see here. My background and all that. I changed it now, actually, like on my phone, but that was my old background and stuff before. This runs iOS 26.1, actually, believe it or not. Okay, yeah, it is a 64 gigabyte model. Alright. And the phone I'm recording with is an iPhone 14, 128 gig. I believe I run some version of iOS 26. I don't know which version exactly, though, I have. This right here is my only AT&T phone. This is the AT&T Z413. There's not a lot of information I even have about this phone. I think it came out like 2011 or 2012. I don't know how much storage it has or anything. I can't really view that. I don't know how to in this phone. So I'm just showing you like what the screen and stuff looks like. But it is one of these phones. Pretty cheap though. I got it at a thrift store for like, I think it was $8 or something like that, maybe 10 bucks. This is my BlueView 1 right here, my only blue phone. I got this off a friend. I don't know how much I paid for it. But yeah, this thing runs Android 9. It is a BlueView 1. And yeah, Android 9. I'm kind of surprised it has Android 9, honestly. I don't know why. I'm just a little bit surprised by that. And it has 16 gigabytes of storage, which isn't great, honestly. This right here is my only HTC phone. This is the HTC Evo 4G LTE. This phone takes forever to turn on, and you have to even hit the button right. So I had to do like a jump cut there because I pressed the wrong button, and then it was taking forever. But there it is, turning on. For some reason, this phone thinks it's 1971. I haven't bothered to fix the date, so that's why it says it's April 1971 right there. But yeah, this phone's really cool, honestly. I love HTC phones. I wish I had more. This one has 16 gigabytes of storage, but I really wish I had more HTC phones. I just don't. I wish I did, though. So this right here is my LG phones. The first one here is the LG VX8350. This one does not work. I don't know why. Well, it does, but it gets stuck on like a downloading screen. Like when you try to turn it on, it just says downloading, and I can't get past it. So it's just kind of stuck there. I don't know what to do about it. I've tried other batteries and stuff. I can't get anything, so I don't know. It might just be something with the software. This is the VX8350R. This is just a red version of the other phone, but it actually works. There's not a whole lot I can really show in here, I feel like, just because there isn't like too much to it, so I'm just kind of scrolling through different stuff. But yeah, this is the red version of the other phone. It completely works. Next is the LG 290C, I believe it's called. This phone does not work. Well, okay, I've gotten it to work, but only like when it's plugged in for some reason. I don't know why. It is very strange that that's how it is, but only like when it's plugged in it works sometimes. Next is the LG VX8360. This phone does not work, and you're about to see why when I show the back here in a second. I mean, look at that. That looks like it's been through war. It's been through the Vietnam War or something. It might have been, honestly, no. But that's what it looks like. That phone is in terrible condition, so I'm not surprised it doesn't work. This is my LG 800G. This phone does work on TrackPhone, obviously. No. There's not a whole lot I can say. This is my first phone like this that I got. My first what I would consider like non-smartphone. I mean, it is kind of a smartphone, but it's not at the same time. I don't know. This phone's really interesting, I have to say, honestly. It's cool, though. I do like this phone. Next is my LG Octane, I believe. This phone's really cool because it has two screens, as you can see right there. I don't know. I think that's just a really cool feature that it has. It's trying to search for service, which I think is kind of funny, but yeah, that's not going to really go anywhere. Next is my LG X Charge. This phone turns on, however, it is very shattered and it is also Google locked. So I'm not even gonna try to fix it because it's just gonna it's like double broken. So there is simply no point in trying to fix it like that. Next is my LG Rebel 4G LTE. This phone does work. It's on track phone as well. There's the home screen of it. I don't remember what the storage is in this, but we're about to find out. I think this runs like Android 7 or something like that. Or maybe it's Android 5. I don't know which one it runs. Okay, this has only 8 gigs of space. That's actually not a lot at all. It is Android 5. Okay, I figured it was. And then last here is my LG Phoenix 5. This is on AT&T actually. Ignore the crack at the bottom. It also has some disgusting stuff on the back. That's like some sticker residue because I tried to peel off a sticker and it just looked like that. So I tried to clean it, but it's like really hard to come off. So that was about as best as I could really do, honestly. So going into the phone, it is 16 gigs. And it runs, I believe, Android 10, but I'm not going to show you because that goes into the IMEI, and I don't want to blur that. This is another funny thing, too. As you just saw that notification right there, said, don't remove the battery. Like, what? These are all the Motorola phones in my collection, and I have a lot. This is my Motorola Droid Max, I believe. Yeah, it is. This is on Verizon. There it is. I love this phone. I don't know what it is. I think it's just like the old style or whatever. It's like, it's very nostalgic to me. I like it a lot, honestly. There's me scrolling through parts of it. Yeah, I don't know. I really do just like how that part of the phone looks. Let's see here. Android 4.4.4. Oh, shut up about the SIM card. Yeah, Android 4.4.4, and it has 16 gigs of storage, which isn't too bad. Next is this Motorola Moto G2. If it turns on, there it goes. There's the screen. It's just like the Droid Max, actually. Like it's very similar, but I do like this. I don't know what it is. Just this old style. I love it. I don't know why. That's Android 4.4.4 as well, and this only has 8 gigs of storage, which is not that great. Even for this time, I feel like that's not good, honestly. This right here is my Motorola Moto E4, which took forever to turn on. As you can see, I mean, here's a time lapse. This time lapse right here goes for like 3 minutes. I'm not even kidding. Like, look at this. This phone takes forever to turn on. It's like the Actel earlier, but there you go. Now it's finally on. I took that picture on that phone like in 2021, I think, or something. 2020 or 2021. This has a bunch of old games on it actually, because I used to use this phone a lot. So yeah, it's really nostalgic to me. This has 16 gigs of storage, and it's running Android 7.1.1. Really? Wow, I'm kind of surprised. But yeah, it's an E4. It says it's on the Sprint variant. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Or I didn't notice that, I should say. That's quite interesting. This is my... What is this? Oh, this is the Motorola Moto E6. This phone's annoying because the power button's like really fidgety and sometimes just does not work on the phone, so that phone's a pain in the ass to turn on sometimes. But this has Android 9 on it, and I believe 16 gigs of storage. Yeah, 16. That's not that great, honestly. Especially for when this phone came out, not good. Next is my Motorola Moto G7 Play. This is a cool phone, honestly. It has a notch. It's kind of funny that Motorola did notches, but yeah, for a little bit of time they were doing notches, just like freaking Apple was. Oh, there's a whole bunch of bloatware on this phone too. I gotta be honest. Thanks, Boost Mobile. But let's see here how much. All right, Moto G7 Play. I knew that. I believe it runs Android 10 or not Android 10, like Android 8 or something like that. 32 gigs of storage. Maybe it does run Android 10. I don't know honestly what version of Android it runs. I didn't like check that, or I did, but I checked it off screen. This is my Motorola Moto E 2020. Look at me trying to get in. I was like really struggling to get in the phone here. I literally had to end up using my second hand at some point. Look at this. I don't know why, it just did not want to work. But there you go, now I finally got in. So if we go into the settings, let's see how much storage this thing has. This one has 32 gigabytes of storage. Okay, that's not too bad actually. Oh yeah, it has the SIM tray missing, and also this was Google locked when I got it, or no, it was SIM locked. I think maybe it was Google locked, but I had to bypass that. But I actually did, which was fun. This is my Moto G Power 2020. This is a really nice phone. Like, look at the back of it, too. I don't know what it is, but I love this phone. I literally wanted to use it as my backup just because of how it looks. But I didn't because it's not... I have a couple phones that are better than it that I now back up instead. But I do really like the design of this phone. I think it is one of the most beautiful phones in my collection right here. That runs Android 10. I know that one for a fact. This has 64 gigabytes of storage. I cut off the Android version just because I don't want to blur the IMEI, honestly. But it runs Android 10. This is... Oh, what is this? Okay, this is a Moto G Pure. I have two of these. I'm only showing the first one. It is 32 gigabytes of storage, and it runs Android 12. Again, I do have a second one, but I'm not showing it just because it's the exact same phone, essentially. So I'm just going to skip it. This right here is Motorola Moto G Power 2022. I like the back of this phone as well. I love the Motorola phones, honestly, in general. Like, their designs and stuff are, like, amazing. I don't know what it is. But here's me going into the phone. I'm struggling again. Of course I am. So here we go, into the phone. Let's see here. 64 gigabytes of storage, actually. That's pretty good. I think this also has Android 10 on it. Maybe even a newer version, like 12 or something, but I'm not sure. I hear fireworks. It's New Year's when I'm filming this, or it's about to be anyways, so if you hear noises, that's why. This is the Motorola Moto... Oh, what is this? Oh, this is the G5G 2024. This is my backup phone, actually, and that screen right there was because I have like some sort of like special sound mode enabled on this phone. This is my backup phone that I use mostly for listening to music is what I use this phone for. I use it for a couple other things. I sometimes use it for like messaging. I have Discord there, as you can see, but I mainly use it for like Spotify and YouTube because I have those there. But yeah, this had the audio effects turned on, so that's why I believe it had that like weird startup screen, if I remember right. But, yeah, this is my music phone, and I do really like this phone. It does have some bloat on it, as you might have seen there. There's some, like, games on it that I didn't put on it. But this is, overall, still, I believe, a very nice phone. This has 128 gigabytes of storage, actually, which is really nice. And this runs Android 15, actually. I didn't realize it was that recent of a version. Alright, and then the last of my Motorola phones is a 2024 Motorola Moto G Play. I like the design of this one, I will say, especially the blue color. I love that blue. It is very beautiful, honestly. But yeah, going into the phone, there we go. Oh, this is, I believe, also my newest Motorola. I only got this phone a couple weeks ago, if I remember right. But yeah, I think, how much storage does this have? I'm not sure, actually. Let's scroll down. Okay, Android 14. Oh, it's running a version before the G5G. That's interesting. Oh, and it has 64 gigs of storage. I only thought it had 32. It's better than what I thought. Oh, and then, yeah, there's a bunch of this bloatware on it, which is really annoying as well. And this right here. This is the ridiculous amount of Samsung phones I have. We're starting here with the Samsung NAC. There's not a lot I can show you with this. It has an unsupported battery, but there isn't much else really to this, so I literally just shut it off after this. It's a cool phone, though, I will say. It is one of the cooler flip phones I have, although I don't have many flip phones, so I can't really be saying that. But, yeah, that's what that phone is. Next is, oh, what is this? This has a couple different names. I call it the Samsung Galaxy S Pro Epic 4G. Long name, I know, but that's what I call it, but it's known as like the Epic 4G or whatnot, whatever. Android 2.3.6, and it has 500 megabytes of storage, which is interesting. Oh, and it has a slide-out keyboard too, which I think looks really cool. That's what it looks like lit up too. I think that looks cool. Next is the Samsung Vibrant or the Samsung Galaxy S Vibrant. Again, it depends who you ask what they call it exactly. But yeah, there's the lock screen, me trying to swipe it up. There we go. This phone has a lot of bloat on it, unfortunately. That's what really sucks about this phone, is it has so much bloat. I mean, you can see all the tabs and stuff. So much bloat. Like, I mean, look at all those applications, you know what I mean? So I'm going to scroll down. About phone. This is running Android 2.2. I think that's one of the earlier versions that I have of any phone. and actually 16 gigabytes of storage, which is actually pretty good. I'm a little bit surprised that that phone has that. Oh, I was pointing at, what was I pointing at? I don't know. This is a Samsung Convoy 2. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about this one either. I had one of these before, but I sold it, but now I have another one, so this phone's back in my collection again. Alright. Woo! Next is, I think it's a Droid Charge, is it? Maybe? Oh yeah, it's the Samsung Droid Charge. I can tell with the Verizon logo. This is, yeah, it's the Droid Charge. So here's the lock screen. I like it personally, honestly. I do like that lock screen. This is taking quite a while to load right here. I don't know why. Very strange. Okay, it loaded all now. This is running 2.3.6. That's also pretty early. How much storage does it have? 2 gigabytes. It's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, I skipped the next one because it was also a Droid Charge. It's the same phone, so it wouldn't be worth showing again. This is the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. There it is. I love this phone a lot, just with the way it looks. It's running Android 4.2.2. I believe it has 8 or 16 gigabytes of storage. 16, okay. Next is the Samsung Rep. This little tiny phone here. I like this phone. It's so cute and small. I don't know. I like it. Tiny little phone by Samsung. So there's the lock screen. Originally, it was actually locked with a pattern, I believe. I wasn't able to get the pattern, but I just ended up resetting the phone completely, and it was fine. So that's how it got to where it is now. I'm messing with the software. This software is like really cool, I gotta say. This is running 2.3.6 as well, actually. It looks like it'd be running an earlier version, but no, it's 2.3.6, which I'm a little bit surprised about. It only has 200 megabytes of storage. That is very low. This is my Samsung Galaxy S Aviator, which is basically the US cellular version of the Droid Charge on Verizon that we saw earlier. It comes up with this mobile data error, or not, like a warning or whatever, and this insert SIM message on every startup, and it's really hard to like figure out how to actually get rid of it. I just try to like turn off the screen and turn it back on, and sometimes it will go away. But then it's like sometimes you also have to like open certain applications to get rid of it. I don't know. You really just have to mess around with the phone until it goes away. Or you have a SIM card. That would fit it. But even then, it might have to be the exact one that came with the phone. I don't know. But this is running Android 2.3.6, which is, again, early. But the other ones have been running that too, actually. And it has 2 gigabytes of storage. This right here... Oh, what is this? Oh, this is the Samsung Galaxy S Stratosphere. Which is also a slidey phone right there. I have to do it very slowly because if you do it fast enough, especially when trying to close it, like you can see I'm trying to close it very slowly right there. If you do it fast enough, it will just shut the phone off completely. So you have to do it very carefully. Yeah, I don't know why it does that, but that's a problem, specifically with this phone. This runs also 2.3.6. It feels like every phone runs 2.3.6. And it has 4 gigabytes of storage, actually. I thought it had an SD card, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know. This is the Galaxy S2 LTE right here. This is a pretty cool phone. This is a... I don't know what I was going to say, but yeah, this is a cool phone of the S2 variety. I have a couple S2s now. This is one of them. I also have like a few other models or whatever of it, but this is the only S2 LTE I have. This is running Android 4.1.2. Really? 4.1? Okay. And how much storage does it have? It has 2 gigabytes of storage. That's not a whole lot, honestly. I kinda was thinking it would be more than 2 gigabytes. Ugh. This is the Samsung Galaxy S2 Skyrocket right here. There's the lock screen. Sorry, I'm tired, so if I'm yawning, that's why. Yeah, here's the home screen. This is also running 2.3.6, like literally every other phone we saw earlier. And it has 16 gigabytes of storage. But only 100 megabytes free? Really? Okay. I have two of these phones here. This is the S2 T99D. They're on Kudu, both of these phones. They're like pretty much carbon copies of each other. I don't know what version of Android this runs. We're going to find out. 4.0.4. At least it's not 2.3.6 again, you know. And I think it has 16 gigabytes of storage, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, it has 16 gigabytes. I figured it did, but then I was like, oh, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But yeah, I have two of these phones. I'm just going to show one because the other one's exactly the same as this one. Alright, next. This is my Samsung Exylia. That's a snow squall warning. Sorry, I'm being caught off guard. My phone went off for a freaking snow squall warning by Pittsburgh. Anyways, this is the Samsung Exhilarate. This phone. Oh, what does this phone run? I think it actually does run. Oh, it's 4.0.4. I thought this was like an earlier version, like 2.3.6 again. It just looks like it. I don't know. It's sometimes hard to tell the difference between them because they do look very similar. And this has 2 gigabytes of storage, which is not a lot, even for the time. This is my Samsung Galaxy Note 2 on Verizon. This is a pretty cool phone, honestly. I love the Notes, honestly, just because they have the stylus and it's also a giant screen. I really do love the Notes for that reason. This is running Android 4.4.2. And I believe it has 16 gigs of storage. Yeah, it does. It has 16 gigabytes of storage. So moving on. Next is the Samsung Galaxy S Victory on Sprint. This one's usually dead, so I was lucky I was able to get this one to freaking turn on. Because 99% of the time you try to turn this phone on, it's just dead. The battery, and it's terrible. But yeah, there's the home screen. Swipe up to unlock. This has only 2 gigabytes of space. Wow, that's bad, honestly. I thought it was like at least 8, but no, it's only 2 gigabytes. That's bad. And it runs 4.1.2 of Android, which is more recent than I actually expected. I thought it was going to run an earlier version. This is the Samsung Galaxy S3 I have. This one is a black one on Verizon. And sometimes it takes forever to turn on. There you go. Now it turned on. Yeah, this is on Verizon, as you can see right there. Let's see. Okay, there's the screen. It's running Android 4.4.2. I actually did expect it to run that version. And it has 16 gigabytes of space. Yeah, 16 gigs of storage. That's not the worst. Especially for that time, it's not terrible. This is my Samsung SGH S275G. You can't do anything with it because it's SIM locked. So it's basically a paperweight. You can't do anything with it. So I literally just went into it, shut it down. You can't go into any apps or anything. You're just stuck there. The only thing you can do is call SOS. That is it. This is my Samsung SGH S390G. This is a pretty cool phone, honestly, because you control it with this middle button right here. Let's see when I press it. By like moving up and down it, which is really cool, honestly. That you can control the phone like that. So I go ahead and shut it down here. Yeah, it's a track phone, as you can see. I wasn't able to get the storage, but it doesn't have a lot from what I can tell. And I don't know what the operating system is on it. This is my Samsung Galaxy Grand Duos. I believe it is unlocked with the way it shows all of that on the startup screen. I think that means it's unlocked, but I'm not too sure. I believe this has 8 gigs of storage. Yeah, it does. Okay, 8 gigabytes of storage. Does it run Android 4.4.2? And it runs 4.2.2 actually. Okay. This is my Samsung Galaxy Note 3 right here. This is one of the cool phones in my collection as well because it's a Note phone. And I actually took the stylus out here for this part of it just to kind of demonstrate what it's like to use. This little thing comes up and you can like click them and do different things. It is really cool. This is running Android 5.0. And this either has 16 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes of storage. I don't know which one. Okay, it has 32 gigabytes of storage. That's actually not too bad for the time. Alright, so next, this is my Samsung Galaxy S4. This is on Verizon once it turns on. There we go. As you can see there, Verizon. Runs Android 5.0.1. And let's see what okay, 16 gigabytes of storage. That's not too bad. This is the active version. It's the Samsung Galaxy S4 Active. I do like the blue on this. I don't know if I show up, you can kind of see it. The phone is blue, and I do really like that color scheme on it. Even the background's blue. Everything's blue. Also runs Android 5.0.1, and I believe it also has 16 gigs of storage. Although it doesn't have the same OLED screen as the normal S5 does, or the S4, which is very strange. I don't know why that is. This is the Samsung Ativ SE on Verizon. This is the only Windows phone in my collection. This is a pretty cool phone, honestly. Let's see here. I don't care about the SIM error. Runs Windows Phone 8.1 update is what it runs. 8.10 point whatever right there. And it has 16 gigabytes of storage. Which isn't a whole lot, but This is one of two phones. Okay, this is the Galaxy Avant. There's another phone that looks like this called the Core LTE that will come up on next, but I wasn't sure what was what. This is on Metro PCS, as you can see. And if I go into the phone here, you can see it runs Android 4.4.2. I feel like a lot of my phones run that. Maybe they do. I don't remember. A lot of them run some sort of Android 4 version. And then that phone has 16 gigabytes of storage, which, This is the other phone I was talking about a minute ago. This is the Samsung Core LTE. I think this is on, I don't remember what this is on. I think it's on Rogers Canada or something like that. It's on some other carrier that I don't really know a whole lot about. But I don't know which one. This also runs Android 4.4.2 actually. I think it also has 16 gigs of storage. Yeah, it does. So, next is, which one is this? This one also has, like, one that's identical to it. Okay, this is the Core Prime. This is on Metro PCS, then? What version of Android is this for? This looks like it runs Android 6 or something. 5.1.1. That just looks a lot newer than, I guess, what it actually is. I don't know, it looks really new, though. And it only has 8 gigabytes of storage, which is not a lot at all. Okay, this is the other duplicate of that phone. Or no, it's not. That's coming up later, I think. This is the Galaxy Grand Prime on Cricket, as you probably just saw for like a split second. It's running Android 5.1.1. Sorry, I'm yawning again. And only 8 gigabytes of storage, really? Wow, I thought it had 16. There's the duplicate. This is the Samsung Galaxy Prevail LTE, which is essentially just a Boost Mobile version of the Core Prime. It runs Android 4.4.4 and has 8 gigabytes of storage. This right here is, I believe, my Samsung Galaxy S5. I think. Yeah. This is on Verizon, as you can see right there. Oh, how much storage does it have? 16 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes, something like that. Oh, there's a snow squall warning. Look at that. Android 6.0.1. Okay. I think I actually knew that, but I didn't say it. I don't know. I think some versions are stuck on 5, though, and it has 16 gigabytes of storage. Okay. I think it's like the T-Mobile versions of the S5 are stuck on 5.0 or something like that. I don't know, though. This is my Samsung Galaxy S5 Active on AT&T. This one's pretty similar to the normal S5, although this one actually is on 5.1.1. This one is not on 6.0, which is very, very interesting. It has 16 gigabytes of storage. Sorry, I keep yawning. This is my Samsung Galaxy On 5. I think it's on TracFone. Yeah, it is. Okay. It's on TracFone. I don't know a lot about this phone, honestly. I haven't used it a lot. I don't know. Android 6.0.1. I think that's the same as that S5 we had a minute ago. And only 8 gigabytes of space, really? Half of it's already taken up, and I haven't even installed anything. That's ridiculous. This right here is my Samsung Galaxy S6 Active. This one's really nice, actually. I used that phone to record a video once. It was one of my phone collection videos in, I think, 2024, maybe? Maybe even one of my 2025 ones. I don't know, but I did use that to film a phone collection video at some point. Okay, this runs Android 7.0. and it has 32 gigabytes of storage. That's not too bad, honestly, for a phone like that. It's not that bad. Next is I have two Samsung Galaxy J3 2016s. Both are on Verizon, so I'm just counting this as one phone because I'm not going to go into both because they're pretty much identical. It's the same reason I didn't go into the Droid charges earlier or some of the Motorola's earlier is because I have duplicates. There's some games on there which is kind of funny. This runs Android 7.1.1 and has Samsung Experience on it. And it has 16 gigabytes of storage. I don't know what Samsung Experience is, though. I think it's like the precursor to One UI. This is my Samsung Galaxy J3 Luna Pro. I got this at a yard sale for $3, which was kind of nice, honestly. This runs Android, what was that, 6.0.1 maybe? 8.0, I couldn't honestly see it. And it has 16 gigabytes of storage, okay. This is my Samsung Galaxy J7 Star. This is on Metro PCS. This phone sometimes takes a while to turn on. Yeah, I literally just I just cut it off halfway through there just to let it sit for a second. There it goes. Okay. I set that clock to be that green. None of that was normally like that. I just did that because I was bored. This has actually One UI 1.1 and Android 9, which is very interesting. Hello CTP with the snow squall warning. Let me close that. This is my Samsung Galaxy S9. This is not the Plus, this is just the normal S9 on Metro PCS. If I can get into it, there we go. It has a little black spot at the bottom left, but it works fine. One UI 2.5 and Android 10. It runs, and it has 64 gigs of storage. This one also has a black spot on it. This is the S9 Plus. You can see it's a larger one, but both phones work totally fine. I just got them like that because they were cheap. Same thing, One UI 2.5, Android 10, and 64 gigabytes of storage. This is my Samsung Galaxy A01 on TracFone. There's fireworks in the background. Sorry if you hear that. This one sometimes takes a while to turn on as well. This is running One UI Core 4.1 and Android 10, and 16 gigabytes of storage. Not too shabby, I guess, although that's not great either. This is my Samsung Galaxy X-Cover Pro on Verizon, as you can see. Sometimes that like clock, whatever, takes a while to load. I don't know why. It's very weird. This runs One UI 5.1 and Android 13, and I believe it has 64 gigabytes of storage, but I didn't look at it. This is my Samsung Galaxy A03s. Yep. I got this at Walmart, actually. Don't ask why, but I did. This is running One UI Core 5.1 and Android 13, and it has 32 gigabytes of storage. This is my Samsung Galaxy A13 5G on TracFone. There it is turning on. If I can go into it. There we go. One UI Core 4.1 and Android 12. And it has 64 gigabytes of storage. And then the last phone of this video is my Samsung Galaxy A15 5G. This is another backup phone of mine. Because it is a very nice phone, honestly. I have like a couple apps and stuff on it. Like I have used this phone quite a bit, honestly. So there is that. It's running One UI 7, Android 15, and it has 128 gigabytes of storage. So yeah, that is it. That is the last video being like filmed and everything in 2025. As we're entering the new year, as I'm recording this, we're entering it in 20 minutes. When the video's up, we're already going to be in the new year. But this is the last video I have filmed for 2025, and I'm going to kind of change things a little bit in the future, but wish you guys Happy New Year. Have a good 2026, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.